found myself in life in situations where I was going through something that was so heavy, so hard, that I actually thought that this is more than I can bear. And that is the experience of many people. I remember the other day, a month ago, thereabouts, there was this lady in our church who lost a 1-year-old to choking under her care. You are a parent, you are watching over a child, and the child choked, with a toy, and actually passed on. And I remember meeting this woman and lady, and she was telling me, I can't move on. I do not know, how to move on. And when I talk about that which is more than you can bear, what is coming to mind is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, where we are told there is no temptation that comes our way other than that which is common to man, and God is faithful. He will not allow us to be tempted above that which, we are able to bear. That is a promise for God. He actually starts by saying that He is faithful. He will not allow us to be tempted above that which we can bear. So today I want to challenge, when you feel overwhelmed, that something is above that which you can bear, you need to remind yourself that if you're a child of God, God has said He is faithful. He will not allow you to go through something that you're not able to bear. Basically, is to say when a situation is coming, because God is in charge, and nothing happens to you by surprise. God allowed it to happen to you. And if He allowed it to happen to you, He vetted and said, this one might be hard, but my daughter can, or my son, can go through it. It is vetted. So the first thing I want you to tell yourself, if you're in a situation where you feel this is more than I can bear, tell yourself, no, God is faithful. If He allowed this, hard as it might be, He is faithful. He's faithful. It is what I can bear. And then He says He will make a way of escape so that you are able to bear it. That's how the verse ends. And that way of escape might be that He gives you a way out, a literal way out. It may also mean that He gives you grace to be able to go through it. Like this lady I've just talked about. 3 weeks after burying the child, actually maybe it is 2 weeks after burying the child, I meet her. She comes to church and says hi. And she tells me she's going back to work. And I ask her, are you managing? She's like, surprisingly, I am. I'm able to concentrate. I'm able to work. I'm able to move forward. Not easy, but I'm able. And that is the way out. There is grace. If God allow something to happen to us, there is grace. In Hebrews chapter 14, He says, let us come boldly to His presence, that we may find mercy and find grace to help us in time of need. That grace, most of the time when we talk about grace, we talk about unmerited favor, something we don't deserve. But grace can also mean supernatural empowerment. Whereas what Janet on her own could not do, but because of the empowerment of God, you are able to do. So are you in a situation where you think this is just beyond me? No, we are told to come before the throne of grace boldly. The verse before that says we actually have a high priest, and we do not have a high priest who's not able to sympathize or empathize with our weaknesses. He is able to see our weaknesses, able to empathize with you and what you're going through. And he says, then come boldly, then you will find grace to help you. So there might be a literal way out, or there is a grace that you may be able to bear through what you're going. And one of the way is to speak to that situation. I remember when I was 19-year-old, I was going through something, and it's the first time in my life I told God, God, this is above me. And God brought that verse to me. And I remember I'd look at that situation, I'm like, I know you look like you're crushing me, but if God allowed you to come my way, I'm able. He has vetted and He has seen He's able. So I received that help of His grace. There is a way out of that situation. Speak to yourself. Stand up from your bed. Stand up from that situation. Dust yourself and say, it is possible. God has vetted it. He has chosen to allow this to happen to me. He will give me grace, or a literal way out. God bless you.